See, they're already coming out of the pit lane to get ready for their third and final race of the weekend. And I spoke briefly to Josh Bethune and to Hugo Allen as we take a look at the grid. Hayden Backerus, the championship leader, alongside Josh Bethune, then Hugo Allen. So we're going to have an almighty battle. Cooper Barnes is up there too in fourth, and Chris White fifth. Simon Hunter is sixth. Then it's Lachlan Evanet from Australia, Zach Blinko eighth, Justin Allen ninth, and Chet Murray in 10th position. Cormac Murphy starts 11th, and Blake Knowles, after some repairs, starts 12th. Then it's Arthur Braun and Mason Potter 14th, Hayden Lyons and Dion Pitt 16th. Harry Townsend just behind him. Then it's Raymond Mallon, Will Morton, Christina All-West, Cameron Hill, Emerson Vincent. AJ Giddy, the youngest competitor, will start at the back. He had damage in a previous race. There's Hayden Backerus in the orange and white number 20. And very close behind Hugo Allen. Like I said, I had a quick chat with both of them. Hugo definitely got his tail up. He really enjoys racing here, and he's just got his eye on the prize for this third race. They all want to get the championship lead going into the next round. There's 2 more rounds to go, and as we look at Hayden Lyons, it's interesting to see how they're going to approach this one. It's been highly competitive. Ronan Murphy, you love this kind of racing, and you know this track very well. We've seen some drama at the bus stop. Will we see more, I wonder, with these guys?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting one. But as we say, it's all about the beauty of the lap time, setting for this final race. We see the fastest guys come through to the top end of town for this the lineup for this final race. Obviously, we see there Backerus and Bethune are off the front row. Hugo Allen there, one of our championship contenders, in third. Cooper Barnes off P4, and Chris White there in the top 5. So probably the 5 fastest guys we've seen all weekend are in the top 5. So this is just going to heat up for an absolute cracker of a race, Jonathan. Simon Hunter, obviously, he had rotten luck in that fight, in that last race, running out of fuel. He's there getting another chance there to start off P6.
Yeah, Hugo Allen again also had quite a lot of repairs to do, but they've righted it up, and I went and had a look at the car. On the outside, it doesn't look too bad, but there was a fair bit of work to do. But he's confident as they come round. Cooler conditions again. It's cooled down as the day has gone on here at Highlands from wherever you're tuning in on stuff. We want to tell you that we've been predicting rain. It just hasn't come. I think more out of hope than anything else, because Arvid Lindblad obviously wanted a little bit of rain, and there was a few others. But you could see how windy it is from the Castrol flags in the background there.
I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I cannot wait for this one. And certainly is a little bit cloudy in the background there, but I think we're going to have a dry one this time. And seeing these 5 or 6 guys at the front go hammer and tong for this final race for the GR86s this afternoon is going to be a cracker.
Here we go then. On the right-hand side of the track, anyway, is the championship leader, Hayden Backerus, in the number 20. Alongside him, Josh Bethune, already a winner, his first win of the season. Hugo Allen has a couple under his belt, but is trying to get back to the championship lead. On go the lights. Out go the lights, away we go, and it's the drag race to the bus stop. And pretty much side by side, but Backerus has definitely got the advantage going into the bus stop. He'll try to defend that position now as they all file in, and oh, I say that, and both into the bus stop, but neither has a ticket. And oh, that is superb stuff. Wow, I've seen some really good bus stop starts, but that was a bus stop start. Wow, brilliant stuff by Josh Bethune to take the lead, but boy, did he muscle his way into it, as Blinko also gets a good start.
Yeah, Bethune did a great job there. He held him in there, leaned on Backerus and managed to take the lead. So that's some aggression there from Josh Bethune, and a massive statement at the start of this race as he's taken the lead and he's doing what he did last time out. He's now just going to try and eyes forward and drive away. But Hugo Allen will have been rubbing his hands together, seeing that as his main championship contender is now only just ahead of him. So he's going to be working hard to try and make a move on the back of Hayden Backerus.
I'm sure glad he had nothing to do with it, because that was a little too tight for comfort, actually. But we watch back, and don't forget, Justin Allen in a different coloured car. He's still in the 99, but he's got the cream car of Thomas Mallard, and he's also slowing right down and coming off the track. So that could be game over.
What
for Justin Allen.
A rotten weekend it's been for Justin Allen. As we see there,
Hugo
Allen's all over the back of Hayden Baccaris. Cooper Barnes is in there in 4th place as well. Chris White Jr. is back there in 5th. So these top 5 guys, being the fastest 5 guys all weekend, have started to pull away.
Simon Hunter still in 6th. Blinko 7th. He's right behind him. But yeah, as you say, we've now got a battle of the top 6, and then there's merely a car and a half between the following battle.
Yeah, and Cormac Murphy's done a good job there. He's moved up a couple of spots and moved up past Justin Allen, who's obviously had that issue there. As we see there, Bethune's just streaking away with this. He's got a huge gap over Baccaris, and Hugo Allen's going to be doing everything he can to not let Baccaris get away there for that second spot on the podium. But we see there, Allen on the ragged edge, just firing that car in deep, as we see Cooper Barnes now trying to have a look. And Chris White Jr. is not too far behind. So these great racing from these top 5 guys, first couple of laps, putting it all on the line to try and find any kind of advantage they can, firing down towards the chicane.
The hard part in 86 racing, running, you know this, is that if you get a lead and if you can pull away, as Josh Bethune is trying to do, he's got 0.8 at the moment. This is the longest race of the weekend. If he can just get, maybe 4 car lengths, maybe a second and a half, it's really hard to catch up. But if you all get together and, like a bicycle race, like a peloton, move forward, you can reel them in bit by bit. Here's another replay.
Yeah, as we look back, this is of someone going into the wall.
Ouch! Mirror!
That's
What
AJ
mirror?
Giddy, the youngest driver in the field. That would have certainly straightened the panels up a bit on the side of that car, and he's lost his mirror as well. So
that's what you call a giddy up, giddy up.
Yeah, and that's the wall of broken mirrors, a bit of a cemetery for tin top cars coming through there, as he tried to have a bit of a dip. But we go back to the front. Josh Bethune, he's got the lead. Hayden Baccaris there in 2nd as they come over the bridge. Hugo Allen there in 3rd. And these 5 guys out front, just trading fastest laps and blows as we come round towards reverse Indy on the 2nd lap of the race.
Bethune, Baccaris, Allen, Barnes, White, Hunter, Blinko, Evanet still in the top 8. Good run by him. Jet Murray is in just behind in 9th position. Then it's Cormac Murphy in 10th.
Yeah, Cormac Murphy had a bit of a weird moment there. He was all over the other side of the track in the dirt, but he's gathered it back up, and he's now chasing back after Jet Murray as we go there with Chris White Jr. and the James Marshall Motorsport 88 car going down towards the bus stop. Simon Hunter, Zach Blinko, and Lachlan Evanet rounding up the top 8 there.
Oh, we got damage here.
Arthur Braun's got a heap of damage on the front of that car. It's not...
He better hope that doesn't flip up, because that will be really rather scary.
His vision would be a bit obstructed there as well, Jonathan. That 222 pack and save car looks about a foot shorter than it started the race.
Well, if it comes off, it will be a case of pack and save, because he's going to be in trouble if he can't see. 2022 or 222 is the number we're looking and focusing on, because he's got damage to the front. I suppose aerodynamically it's not going to make that much difference, but he's just hopeful that that front of the bonnet stays where it is.
Yeah, as we see there, Braun defending pretty heavily from Dion Pitt, one of the veterans of the category, and heaps of experience and race wins and podiums under his belt in this championship.
Mason Potter with damage to the rear of his Pizza Hut car.
Yeah, exactly right. Something's dragging on the back of that car, and he's the only one left in the field flying the flag for Syndicate Motorsport after Justin Allen obviously had those issues early on.
You know, I walked down the pit lane during the lunch break, and I couldn't believe how much duct tape and tape there was on each of these cars. Let's head down for the latest from Greg Grubbs.
Jonathan, I know we're focused on Bridgestone GR86. We are just switching to CT Frock here for a moment. You can see the newly crowned title winner, Arvid Lindblad, here with the team from M2 Competition. When we saw the heavily damaged car of his after race 2 this morning, we wondered how they would go with what was effectively a race against time. We thought it would be a change of tub for this car, but I think the new story is that they actually have the Toyota spare car that they are prepping now for him for the Grand Prix. So I'll find out while we're going here if they think they can get it all done in time for the GP.
Great stuff. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, we call it the T car. It's the same car that Andrew Waite drove earlier in the weekend. We'll see that in action with Andrew behind the wheel later in the day. So stay tuned for that. But we had all sorts of action while you were talking there, Greg. Blinko was in a real battle there. He's dropped to 8th. And behind Evanet, here he is. He tries down the inside here on the 42.
That's Zach Blinko. Good, solid pass there on Simon Hunter. So Hunter looks to be just struggling a little bit out there with car pace as he's actually and then he's managed to stay on the inside there for reverse Indy
and that's where Blinko loses out. Watch this.
Yeah, so that's Simon Hunter there with a bit of racecraft. Good pass back on Blinko. As we see there, Cormac Murphy's going down the inside of Jet Murray. Good solid pass there.
Yeah. Both good use of the circuit, isn't it?
Both guys with family ties to the Supercars Championship. Those two young guys trying to show what they can do. As we see there, Mason Potter's had a massive moment.
Well, he had damage to the rear of the car before that moment, and you just wonder whether how stable the rear of that car is. It might be a slightly bent suspension, which is. Let's have a look.
Yeah, we see there Mason Potter.
Oh no, he got a touch.
Oh yeah, with Dion Pitt.
Oh,
big contact side to side with Dion Pitt.
Wow.
So that's not ended well for Mason Potter. A bit of a shock to the system. But we go back there to these guys battling for the 6th position. Simon Hunter, Lachlan Everett, and Zach Blinko.
I've been really impressed with Lachlan Everett. He's just a kid from Australia, but he really has taken to this championship like a duck to water. Talking of ducks to water, there's one about to go in the
and Simon Hunter's done exactly what he did
he's come back
to Zach Blinko. He's now given Blinko the spot back off Everett.
Oh, that's so hard at that fast part of the circuit there to come on the inside, but that's good work from Blinko. He goes up to 7th place again.
Smart, crafty driving from Simon Hunter there in the 42 car. As we look back there, Zach Blinko, Lachlan Everett, that car's not looking too tidy on the front left corner there. Simon Hunter's got a very different line through the Southern Loop, and I'm not 100% sure if it's actually working for him or not, but he's maintained the position. Cormac Murphy's there in behind Lachlan Everett.
Here comes Blinko.
Yeah, Blinko again searching for a way pass, and if there's anyone that you don't want to have to try and pass in this competition, it's Simon Hunter. He knows how to make that car 10 feet wide.
Oh, and he pushes him now. Watch Blinko look for the inside of the carousel here.
Yeah, and this
he goes to the outside, in fact. Now he'll come to the inside. Here we go.
This was a 3-car battle that's quickly turning into a 5-car battle.
Oh, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
He gives him a door.
See ya.
Hunter's going to stay there. He's going to have the inside coming through there, through the top of the circuit there, and he gets the position back. So good defensive driving there from Simon Hunter. It's bringing Cormac Murphy into the battle as well. He's going to be looking for an opportunity down the inside of Everett. As Blinko at the last minute. That's going to
through the needle.
These guys are going to be side by side. They give each other room. Hunter's in the dirt a little bit there. Not too much contact. Blinko did a good job to stay off the back of Hunter, but Hunter's going to have the drive up down here towards the bridge. So they fire and Hunter.
Blinko gets through. Boy, he is brave, that kid.
And that's good racing there from these young guys.
Really good.
And Simon Hunter, great little bit of driving there from all of them. Blinko got the position there. He solidified the position. Cormac Murphy there trying to go around the outside of Lachlan Everett, and he's down there at the reverse Indies. Fended off Jet Murray there in the 37 car, so it's a bit of a train there. You've got a Mackenzie car followed by a Race Lab car, another Action Motorsport car, a Race Lab car, and an Action Motorsport car. So
well, it's all action and it's all motorsport. It's fantastic at the moment.
Bit of intra-team battles going on.
Josh Bethune, though, extends that lead to 0.8 of a second. Hugo Allen stays 3rd, waiting, biding his time, still halfway through this 12-lap race. Great entertainment. And
Josh Bethune's still got about an 8/10 gap over Hayden Baccaris at the front there. Hugo Allen there in 3rd position. We go back to the battle there between these guys. It's from 6th back. Zach Blinko, Simon Hunter, Lachlan Everett. As we go back to the front here, so the fronts actually, these 5 have not really changed much in terms of gaps. Hugo Allen's behind the championship leader, so 1st and 2nd in the championship are currently 2nd and 3rd in the motor race. You've got Josh Bethune out the front there. He's doing what he did in the last race and cleared away from these guys, but 2nd through to 5th, you can't tell them apart.
If they finish like this, it's going to be really tight going into the next round. 2 rounds to go after this last race here this weekend. And again, I spoke to Hugo about this, and he said he just wants to get ahead of Baccaris. That's all his intention is. Of course, he'd like to beat Bethune as well, but his focus is on the 20, the orange and white in front of him.
Yeah, and Hugo Allen's having a good battle there. Hayden Baccaris, he's by himself in terms of his. He doesn't really have any of his teammates around him at the moment. Whereas same with Hugo Allen versus the 2. You've obviously got the 2 M2 by Right Cards by M2 competition cars, 1 leading the race and 1 in 4th. So great to see a different influx of teams. You've got obviously the M2 Right Cards car leading, a Mackenzie car there in 2nd, Hugo Allen for IMAC Race Engineering, and Big Sport there in 3rd followed by the another M2 competition car and James Marshall Motorsport car of Chris White Jr. there in 5th.
This is revving up to a really interesting finish because there's nothing between the top 5. And we've seen over the championship, we've got all of the top proponents for the title chase right at the sharp end. And the only one I could think of is perhaps Emerson Vincent, who's had a win, of course. And then, of course, Justin Allen. But Justin, of course, lost his car early in the first race and has borrowed a car from Thomas Mallard. So he's there, but he's not going to get big points this weekend. He's currently in 23rd.
And this is what we love to see, isn't it, Jonathan? Five genuine young guns, the next stars of New Zealand and Australian motorsport.
Yes.
Cooper Barnes is in there as well, going hammer and tong, trading laps, trying to figure out a way, find the weakness in each other to try and make a move. And we saw Hugo Allen had a sniff on Hayden Baccaris last time down here at the hairpin, so we'll see what he's got for him this time. Chris White Jr. there, floating in the background behind Cooper Barnes. So we see there, again, Hugo Allen gets right up behind Baccaris. He's trying to pressure him into a mistake. Baccaris actually missed the apex there, so Allen getting in the mirrors, getting inside Hayden Baccaris' mirrors actually led to a mistake. So it's actually meant he's going to have to be a little bit more conservative coming down towards the bridge.
The problem is you can't really make an overtake into here. It's one line and one line only. And if you try to make it 2 lines, you're going to get pinged for basically track limits. So Hugo knows that all too well.
So we see there Chris White Jr. He's right up in behind Cooper Barnes. Barnes is he's made a mistake somewhere. He's struggling a little bit. As Chris White Jr. gets a good run off the corner there. Not quite good enough to be able to make a pass, because we saw him in the last race. He was the guru down there at Reverse Indy making all the passes. But it's a lot harder when you're racing these guys, the 5 fastest guys on the track and 5 fastest guys this weekend. It's great to see up front.
Yeah, and all of those guys you were talking about, the top 5, all in the 151s here on the 8th of 12 laps. A 151.6 is the top time of those out there, and then it drops off considerably. So it really is a 5-way battle for the flag here.
And it's amazing, Jonathan, you see these 5 young guys, there's 2 seconds separating these 5 cars. It's 7 seconds back to Zach Blinko from these guys. So that just shows how fast these young blokes are driving these cars and how good a job they're doing out the front right now. But the problem is for all of these guys, when you get racing these guys, it's incredibly hard to be able to make a pass, because it's very few mistakes up the front of the field and very few opportunities to try and capitalise on.
So then, still that front of the 222 still going on for Arthur Braun in the packet save 222, but he's now getting the attention of Dion Pitt. Dion Pitt coming back into the championship for these 2 southern rounds and giving a little bit of pressure to young Arthur as Harry Townsend goes through behind them.
Yeah, Harry Townsend there in 13th. He's just ahead of the reigning New Zealand Formula 4 champion Blake Knowles, who's having a better show. As we see there, Mason Potter escorts AJ Giddy out to the dirt. No one ran off the road, but that was certainly a bit of a little bustle and tussle there between those guys. That's a lot of bodywork hanging off the back of the 47 cars. We see there Potter going on the defensive. Christina West is just ahead of those guys there on the Dale ITM machine. As we see Dion Pitt still working away. Raymond Mellon there working on the back of his teammate Caleb Byers there in the 33 South Fence Machinery car.
This is absolutely fantastic. We've got 3 distinct battles, and it's so close between this group of, 8 cars? As they dive into the left-hander, there's really nothing between them. Somebody's going to have to be careful here, because they're so close that it only needs 1 mistake by 1 driver or 1 lunge up the inside, and
that's gone bad. That's gone really bad. Really bad. That was kicked off. Blake Knowles had a crack down the inside of Harry Townsend, and Arthur Braun, unfortunately, has ended up being the innocent bystander in that one. So that was pretty chaotic there for a bit, and obviously it's a very tight corner, very hard as we look down at the replay. So Byers has come, Knowles has come from quite a wee way back, tagged the back of Arthur Braun. Dion Pitt did a good job. Oh no, he got rotated as well.
Harry Townsend does a good job too of avoiding.
Out of everybody, Caleb Byers was the one to profit out of that. He managed to go to the inside and avoid all of that. So
well, he ain't giving up, is it?
Yeah, good bit of heads-up driving from Byers there, but really disappointing for the rest of them. Dion Pitt, Arthur Braun.
So let's go back over what we've got. No change at the front. Bethune leads from Baccaris and Allen, but it's now Barnes, White, Blinko, Hunter 7th, Evan now 8th, Murphy down to 9th, Jet Murray in 10th, then Byers, Malin, Morton and Potter. That's your top 14.
Yeah, and obviously the guys in the top 10, that gap That gap is still about 7 seconds back from Chris White Jr. back to Zach Blinko. So these guys at the front, they haven't really been able to make much inroads on each other, but they are just pulling away and maintaining that gap to the rest of the cars, as we see there. Justin Allen in the 99, he's obviously got that car going again. Whatever issue he did have is now fixed, and unfortunately Harry Townsend there behind, he was also one of the guys that was unfortunately an innocent bystander in the incident down at Reverse Indy.
Yeah, that's a strange one for Justin Allen. He's back up to 18th place, but as you saw earlier in the race, he pulled out completely. Whoa, sideways at the entry to the bridge.
Just shows the commitment these guys are all, how hard they're pushing. Young Caleb Byers there, good bit of car control over the bridge there. He's got his teammate Raymond Mellon in the 34 Digabits car there behind him. Will Morton's having a good showing as well in the 11, the Mad Butcher car there in 13th.
The gap still 0.9 of a second from Bethune to Baccaris. Allen just behind him in the top three, but we're watching every battle, or trying to anyway. The crowd on the hill loving every moment of this. Tantalizingly close to the wall again.
Yeah, again, you just see how close they're getting on that exit there. I don't think any more mirrors were sacrificed that time around, Jonathan, but we see there Cameron Hill. He's in the 43 car, which is actually the Toyota test car, which he's running after his car was sadly too damaged to repair at the previous round.
You need 25 test cars the way these guys go.
It certainly provides the action for the rest of us watching, but we look there again. Caleb Byers doing a great job there. He's leading this train of cars in 11th spot. It's a bit of a gap back, about 12 seconds up the road as Jet Murray, Cormac Murphy and Lachlan Evanet.
2 laps to go. How loose do these cars get when you push them like this?
Well, it's all to do with the tyre, Jonathan. Obviously, when the surface temperature gets heated up and the more erratic you drive the car or the harder you lean on the tyre, the hotter the tyre gets and the slipperier it becomes. So it's just managing that tyre. Hugo Allen's probably been the best at it so far this season. We saw how good he was at Taupo. Obviously, these guys at the front, Josh Bethune's also doing a brilliant job of it. He's pulled out a lead and managed to manage it very well. Hayden Baccaris there as well. He's been super consistent this year. He's obviously leading the championship, and Cooper Barnes and Chris White Jr. also in there running very, very well in the top 5.
Time running out, though, for Hugo Allen if he's going to make a pop at Baccaris. Baccaris, though, just ahead. They've lost time a little bit on Josh Bethune. The gap was 0.9, and I think it's going to stay about there as they cross the line again.
Yeah, Josh Bethune's...
It's come down, actually, to 0.7.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of time, but Josh, I was talking to him after the second race, and he just said they were in cruise mode, they were happy with the car, it's feeling really good, and I'm sure he knows what he's doing out the front there, managing the tyre.
Tell you, what a turnaround for the weekend. In an incident that involved Justin Allen and having to replace cars, Josh Bethune was sideways across the track a couple of races ago and is now leading after starting pole in the second race of the weekend, winning that and taking his first win. And what a weekend it's proving to be for him. Yeah,
this weekend's definitely been a definition of the spin to win for Josh Bethune. Went from a huge spin that he managed to kick the car off the wall over the bridge in the first race, and now he's gone on to win the second race, and he's looking like a very, very strong contender to win this final race. But we saw before, actually, Emerson Vincent coming through the carousel there, so unfortunately it looked like something may have happened to him because he was by himself, so we saw him running a bit further up before that, whatever had occurred there. But we see there Cooper Barnes running a little bit defensive down there at the hairpin. Chris White Jr. is looking more and more menacing on the back of him there. The reigning Nexon Tyre New Zealand Mazda Racing Series champion.
Well, the intensity has certainly gone out of this, even though Baccaris is still pushing as hard as he dare. Sideways over into the bridge there again, and he has caught up just a little bit. He may have one more crack at this, and both Baccaris and Bethune now are well aware that they are in a real fight for the lead. Hugo Allen will pick up the pieces. Hasn't really shown enough to really challenge Baccaris for an overtake, but they've got one more lap to go, and this is the most spread out we've seen them.
Yeah, and Baccaris has actually left Hugo Allen behind a little bit, and he's actually chasing now after Josh Bethune. So the gap between Bethune and Allen hasn't actually really changed, but Baccaris is the one that's moved in between them and moved closer to Bethune. But we see there so much commitment, running those curbs nice and high for these guys out front.
Chris White may still make a move here before this is done.
They've actually extended the gap back to Zach Blinko, these guys. They're now 8 seconds ahead, so it just shows the pace they're driving these cars at. And when you're driving them so fast, it's really hard to create an opportunity or make a pass. So all these guys have done a great job so far. We're on the final lap. Josh Bethune there
This is great composure by Josh Bethune, no question about it. He has been under pressure throughout this race, but he's just bided his time, kept his head, and more importantly, kept ahead of the rest of the field. Baccarus has tried. You can see how hard he's pushing by how much sideways action he gets. Hugo Allen early on was definitely pushing Baccarus all the way, but now it looks as though it's a straight three-way battle. Chris White might have one more go at Cooper Barnes before this is done.
Yeah, we see there Hugo Allen going to the inside. He's still trying to get him Baccarus's mirrors on the hope that he can force him into a mistake. But Baccarus is showing why he's the championship leader at the moment. He hasn't succumbed to any pressure from Hugo Allen, who's had a very good crack at trying to make something happen. But we see there Bethune coming up over the bridge for the final time. Baccarus there, he got a bit closer this time around.
Well, it's going to be a real interesting run if he does make a lunge up the inside. We saw it earlier with Blinko. He got hung out to dry, but I don't think he's close enough. No, he isn't. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3 for Bethune, Baccarus and Allen as they come out of the penultimate corner. But that has been a sterling weekend for Josh Bethune as he takes victory in the feature race. There's the checkered flag. The lights come on. Baccarus will extend his lead, and Hugo Allen has kept it clean, kept it hard, and absolutely done the business. He just wanted to get ahead of Baccarus. He couldn't do it, but he still picked up valuable points, and that takes all of the top three through to the next round. Very close indeed.
Great drive from Zach Blinko, Simon Hunter, Lachlan Evatt, Cormac Murphy and Jet Murray to round out the top 10. Those guys all kept it tidy, had a good race, bit of defensive driving in there as well to make it entertaining. The rest of the field comes across the line.
Simon Hunter dropped to 7th in the end. Lachlan Evatt, who had been in the top 5, drops to 8th. Cormac Murphy 9th, and Jet Murray rounding out the top 10. Wow, that had everything.
And actually, Jonathan, Caleb Byers didn't end up making it across the line there. He's down, showing an 18th.
Down, isn't he?
Something's obviously happened to him. He'd done a great job to avoid any of that incident down at Reverse Indy, which I'm sure is probably going to get looked at. But here are the results.
Yep, confirmation of the results then. Josh Bethune of New Zealand takes another victory over Hayden Baccarus in 2nd and Hugo Allen. And that keeps the championship tight as you like. Cooper Barnes 4th, Chris White 5th, Zach Blinko in 6th, Simon Hunter 7th and leading the Masters, Lachlan Evatt in 8th, Cormac Murphy 9th and Jet Murray in 10th. Raymond Mallon just behind him. Christina Allwest, that's one of her best results of the last few rounds. AJ Giddy 13th. He's had an up and down weekend. Justin Allen likewise finishes 14th. Hill, Townsend, Potter, Knowles, Byers, as you say, dropping down. So he finished in the last moments there without actually crossing the line. And Vincent, here's the highlights. And right from the get-go, Baccarus got away well, took the whole shot, but bow, how about this? The run into the bus stop suddenly got very interesting as through comes Bethune and wouldn't be denied. I thought Baccarus had that. Hugo Allen held off for a little bit. Blinko got held out to dry on the outside, and it was, well, all sorts of drama. Brawn with cars, with the part of the car coming off at the back, mirrors flying everywhere. And then Blinko tried this move up the inside of Hunter, and it worked. Cormac Murphy was making some nice little racecraft moves too. Dion Pitt says, off you go, Pizza Hut, have a piece of that. Townsend going through. Here's Blinko again, this time on the inside, another lovely move on the carousel. But Hunter was wise to it, and he had the better line on the outside. Then big drama as round went. The 2-2-2 of Arthur Brawn. And look at that, sideways action, not holding back. Plenty of drama. We didn't see that.
That was Simon Hunter. So he was very lucky not to lose a position there, Jonathan. That was amazing. A huge moment. Great bit of car control.
And out of all of that comes Josh Bethune with another victory. That is, what a weekend for this young man.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget how experienced Josh Bethune is. You know, he's only a young bloke, but he's been racing a very long time at a high level in go-karts. He actually had a dabble in the Cedar Frock Championship, did a lot in Formula Ford as well, and he's showing his medal out there today with both race wins today on the Sunday for the Bridgestone GR86 Championship. And he's certainly obviously had some different things happen to him this year, but you wonder where he'd be in the championship if all those little things hadn't occurred. He's clearly shown the pace he's got and the wise head on his shoulders as well to be able to keep his composure and take home 2 victories.
Well, I think he's put himself back into contention with this weekend. Makes his way over to Stephen McIver.
Well, that was worth it, Ryan. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, we've had a great Sunday. It's good to bounce back after what happened at Teretonga. Yeah, this is just a big credit to the boys at Right Karts by M2. I couldn't do any of this without them. My sponsors, Firewatch Otago, JW Group, Rotax Racing, Right Karts by M2 competition, On the Pace, Robbo. It's been a real good day.
We know the Bridgestone GR86 Championship is a leveller for drivers, but you come in as one of the more experienced drivers. Has there been frustration through the season now that you see what's going on at the back end and now you're pushing?
Yeah, I made a small mistake at round one, 2 of them to be fair, and then we just haven't had our luck go our way, and yeah, that's really good to start bouncing back.
2 rounds to go. Do you feel now, okay, 2 rounds to go, look out everybody?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're going to be full push and yeah, see what we can do. It's definitely, we're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, nice driving, buddy. Well played.
Thank you.
Get ready for the podium. And in P2, Hayden Baccaris, your championship leader. And Hayden, that's exactly what you needed to do, was just to stay ahead of your mate Hugo Allen, but he pushed.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a tough race. Hugo was up my ass the whole way through, and yeah, it was just trying to keep him back for the championship. So really happy to finish second, and yeah, great weekend.
As a young driver, how challenging has Highlands been for you this weekend?
Oh, definitely one of the hardest tracks in New Zealand. Very technical track, as well as being one of the hottest sort of tracks environments to drive in. Makes it really challenging.
Congratulations, get ready for the podium.
Awesome, thank you, Stephen.
P3, Hugo Allen. Hugo, come on in. I know the one thing that you wanted to do prior to this race was get in front of Hayden, but this championship's now starting to get really wild.
Yeah, look, Hayden did a good job this weekend, and to be honest, he just did a better job than us, and that's why he's extended his championship lead. But yeah, I think relative to how we went last weekend, I'm really stoked that we were able to come back and reset and go again and improve on the things that we really need to improve on for the rest of the season, so I'm stoked.
2 more rounds to go. Do you think you can find the speed to get past them?
100%.
I love it. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All right, let's get on to the podium for race 3, round number 4 of the Bridgestone GR86 Championship here at Highlands Motorsport Park in Cromwell. Trophies today will be presented by Bridgestone Regional Sales Manager Gareth Michelle. And in 3rd place, Hugo Allen. In 2nd position and still championship leader, Hayden Baccaris. And your winner and his 2nd race win of the weekend. Give it up for Josh Bethune. And that is your official podium for race 3, round 4 of the Bridgestone GR86 Championship. That's, folks, there you go. There's your official podium. Just waiting on the round winners, rookie winners, and masters winners as we have it right now. And Gareth Michelle will give out the trophies for your round 4 winners. And your round 4 rookie winner is Chris White. And your round 4 Bridgestone GR86 round winner, Hayden Baccaris. And those are your round winners for the Bridgestone GR86 Championship, round number 4. Congratulations to those winners from a cracking weekend. Yes, you may spray some bubbles, gentlemen, as we get ready for more racing live here on the Stuff Speed Hub.